Good day, traders. This is Rich with some price action on the markets. Currently 4:15 p.m. September 18th, 2020, Friday, end of the week. Closed out great. A little disappointed on one particular trade at the end of the day, but I'm not going to worry about that going into the weekend. I hope you guys had a good week. Finished my mentor session around noon today, and the markets kind of fell off, and I kind of stopped trading, and then the market started to pick up a bit. So I started looking at that again, and a couple trades did set up, and I'll show you a couple of those. The one I missed, which I'm upset about, and the one that kind of got a little crazy. So let's get started on the early part of the day. Tesla, it broke down here, and I took the bounce back up through the 440 level around here. Got some nice gains on here. I tried getting through a 445 level and failed. And I lost some of that gain back. But after that, I found NNOX. I traded this yesterday through this 31 level here. Nice gain here of a point. I got some nice shares off there. Sold a little too much too early, but the way the market was acting, you had to kind of like, send some shares to the limits and not sit on them too long. Otherwise you could, end up losing on your trade. So I was taking gains a little bit earlier. Kind of left money hanging there, but no big deal. And then, it was just a great looking trade. And then it kind of fizzled down a little bit here, and then came up to attempt the 32 level. And I missed this one. I was like, I'm going to take this one. And I got jumped on it. Did not get it, pulled back to the 32 level exactly here. Maybe would have stabbed me out because I would have taken some gains, but let's say I was right under the 32 level because it was a point move, but it ran up to 35. So at the end of the day, I was looking, as this was rallying up, I was going to take the 35 again, and I actually used a buy stop limit on quote order at 35 with a 35.03, 35.08 limit. Jumped like it was no one's business. Never came back, and it went up 97 cents. Unfortunately, I got jumped on it again at TradeStation. Even using a buy stop limit on quote order with wiggle, or I should say some spacing, between the 35 and like 35.08. I figure something was going to print between 35 and 35.08. I set the order like 15 minutes before it triggered, like down here I set it, and it just went right through it. So I missed that trade. End of the day, I was, it was just one of those things where that was the only trade I was really looking at today, and I missed it. Starting to build up, so I'm starting to get a little sick of TradeStation right now. For the fills. I mean, again, it's nothing to do with the platform and visualization and stuff like that. But if I'm not getting filled, then it's not worth trading with. So here, Tesla, 445 here, had some hard times with it. Came up to the 445 level, and I said, you know what? It's coming up pretty quick. I'm not going to trade the 445. I've had a pretty good day. I'm going to sit back, and if it pulls back, I'll try again here. And it pulled back, and it was coming back up to the 445 level, and I got in, and I got a nice move up. I actually had a sell at 448.35. I was sitting for the big move through 450. It's getting up to like the break of the highs, which is 451. And the stock was sitting at like 449.30 or something like that. I had a stop on my last shares at almost break even, which was down at 445. This candle just dropped like a rock. Like it was no one's business. It was a rug pull on Tesla, and it just sucked because I was holding those shares to the end of the day, and it failed. So I probably could have made another $20-30 because I only had a little bit of shares left, but I ended up making only $2 or $3. So I mean, it might not sound like a lot of money, but when you're strategizing, working towards a bigger program or bigger plan to trade bigger share size, you got these things have to work on smaller share size, you know what I mean? And it was just unfortunate that I got rug pulled, and then all of a sudden went from 450 down to 440 like it was no one's business. And I know it's quad witching, whatever options expiration day or something like that, but I'm not really going to worry about that too much. It was pretty much at the level where I bought it at, which is kind of funny. in some aspects. So it was 188 today, 188. Let's look at the equity to close out the week, and maybe even do a weekly equity. Let's see how I did. Okay, so here's a look at the equity for the day. If you notice in the past few, I've traded around 40 to 50 trades. That includes buys and multiple sells, not just one trade. This is probably like today I traded 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 7 different full trades, but it took 24 to get out, and it was a gradual climb, actually a decent climb to the 188 level, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm doing well right now. The market was tough the last 2 days, but I was still able to make gains. It was a good week. Learned a ton, and I'm just taking it defensively. I might increase share size next week, ramp up a little bit. Not a 100% ramp, maybe a 25% ramp, and we'll see how that goes. So let's see how the week went. Okay, so the week started off a little slow with this downward move, but then picked up and didn't look back, and I'm closing at highs for the week around $400. Obviously, I need to quadruple that at least. My goal is, much more than that. I'm not looking to make $1,000 a day. That's just going to be really difficult right now. My goal is right now is to be at around 500 a day, if not 300. If I'm only making 400 in the week. But I had no losing days, which was nice. I kept it tight, just being smart, I guess. And that's the goal. If I can be smart and I can stay in the game and learn more setups and get better fills. I think the fills would have been like $400 this week, honestly. More, $400 more, just because the trades I did miss all worked. Now they didn't all go for like 10 points or anything like that, but they were all pretty much positive. And it's just unfortunate that I wasn't able to hit a lot of those big ones. But it happens, and I just have to accept it and move on. So you guys have a great weekend. I may do a video over the weekend. We'll see what happens. And have a good night. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll talk to you when I get back on Monday.